Hi, I'm a procrastinating writer, otherwise known as James Edwards, so let's begin, shall we? This is the first video, and it's Monday, the 20th of January. I'm going to be doing a video every day till my birthday, which is the 31st of March, when I turn 23. And the whole reason why I'm doing this is not because I started to notice I have grey upper lip hair, and that's making me feel old. I was watching The Right Stuff this morning, as I actually normally do, because I really like it, and it's better than Jeremy Kyle in the morning. One of the topics that was discussed on the show was the Corey suicide storyline, in which a character suffers from it and decides to end her life. And because this was shown before 9 PM, which is the British watershed, because we all kind of know that, you know, the watershed's very important, don't we? Yeah, we're just all civilized people before 9 PM. Oh love, my darling, the world that I love and wish to adore for the rest of my life. I wish to make every day of yours beautiful. Do you want a cup of tea?
Yes, darling, I would love a cup of tea. Even though you accept me for who I am, even with my ridiculous, stupid voice. It's not even British, but I love you all the same.
Love. I know how you like it too. 2 sugars, milk. Yeah. You're sweet enough as it is, but you insist on having sugar.
Oh.
You're such a charmer. Love, what time is it?
I believe it's coming up to 9 o'clock.
Oh really, is it, darling? Yes, it'd be any moment now. 1 moment later. Oh, I love your slag. I love your tits. Make me that fucking cuppa now. I ain't fucking doing it. You're fucking doing it, love.
I go fuck yourself.
As you can see, that's exactly Britain at 8:59 to 9. That's just to point out the stupidity of the argument. That, oh my god, it's on the watershed. Okay, well, today's video is death in fiction, or death in a soap, where young people do watch it, and the idea of why the whole controversial thing is kind of ludicrous, and why that should not be the issue discussed. It should not be discussed whether or not it was right. The issue isn't whether it should have been aired before 9 PM, but why it's a good thing it should be aired in the first place. Death is not a very easy subject to talk about, but I wanted to address a certain topic that I have in this view, and you can easily just click off now. If you don't want to hear about it, just click away now, and that's it. Now, the whole reason why this whole thing is a bit controversial, or at least has been talked about, is because it's before Watershed, when young people are up watching it, and I tend to say young people tend to see a lot of death, but they don't see it within any sort of context. At least in a context where they can understand and approach the subject. Look at the news. When I was young, death on the news was very random. The news is just, it's a set time, it's on, but who's dying next is completely random. The next tragedy is completely random. There is chaos in the world, and the news just really affirms that. It's just, the world is sort of unknowable to such a degree that if you're growing up, and the world is a very scary place. I think fiction is a great way to deal with very real life issues in a way where it's removed from our reality, in a way where it represents a world and when we can discuss and approach the issue, but we don't necessarily have to approach the issue because someone we know and love has decided to take their lives, or has got, sadly, cancer, or any other number of diseases, or issues and dilemmas. And if you ever watch a nature documentary, kids do love nature documentaries. Nature shows are bloody scary. They'll spend 30 minutes making you fall in love with this cute, massive, cuddly penguin thing, and you're just like, oh my god, it's Happy Feet. And then they will just show you 3 wolves somehow, because, you know, wolves and penguins are just sort of natural enemies, and the wolves will just come and just rip the shit into it. I watched Frozen Planet, and there was a wolf and a buffalo, female, was going at this baby buffalo, and it was a fight to the death, and you saw it, oh my god, it was traumatic. What I don't understand is how come in nature documentaries the parents would just leave their fucking kid behind, and I'm like, why? There's no discussion on that. The animal's just like, no, I'll let my kid get eaten by a wolf and watch it die. I'm just like, nature's cruel. I think it's a good thing that death can be talked about, and that we have shows like Coronation Street, or even EastEnders, or Emmerdale and whatnot. Oh, we're not counting Hollyoaks as a soap. Yes, Helen Flanagan might have been in it. Oh, Helen Flanagan. Anyway, I want to hear your thoughts on the subject, because whether or not you agree it was right to air the show and to air that sort of storyline with that very heavy subject material, before Watershed, do you think that matters now? What with the internet? Where people are asking Google very hard topics. And coming from someone who has suffered with depression before and probably has gone through a few rough patches in my personal life, fiction and stories have been very much a way for me to be able to know that the topic exists. And I think that's a great way of also empathising with characters, is when that character has something that you think only you have, and then suddenly that character becomes not just a character, but then that moment you realise is then a moment when you face it, when it's not a dark secret that you're holding. You realise what's actually going on inside, and people are going to be more likely to, especially if they're young anyway, to not be bothered by Watershed, because they can do and see things before, and what probably do. They'll probably Google very sensitive subjects. What you find actually is the majority of people are good-natured, and the majority of people want to do the right thing when it comes to discussing or being faced with depressing issues, such as suicide, such as death. So would it help if that storyline was in Corrie and then someone rang up the helpline later on and talked about it to someone? Because depression is very immobilizing and it doesn't make you want to talk. It doesn't make you want to really do anything. I know that's rather actually quite upsetting topic to talk about for a first video. And I'm not doing this for the topical either, because I don't think the whole Corrie suicide storyline has been such a big hot topic that it's going to get me loads of views. That's not what I'm going for with this. I'm just seeing what I can produce all the way up until my birthday, and then obviously take a break from it, or at least take a break from the intensity of it, and just try and show myself and my views and my opinions, and hopefully one of these random videos will inspire an idea in you, inspire some discussion. If you wish to comment or reply, please feel free. I have an email address, it's in the description. My website's in the description. I'll put my Twitter in the description as well. And let's see what happens, shall we? I've been Procrastinating Writer, otherwise known as James Edwards, and you've been listening to me talk for a few minutes, and I thank you very much for that. You please have a lovely day.